Welcome back. This is Johnny G with Out as the New In, You Have a Purpose podcast. Thank you for joining us with my son Chase and his continued story.
Yeah. Birth defect, gay. I mean, that's kind of a double whammy where I'm like, okay, let's checklist. What struggles do I want? But like, it's
Check that box.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Was that hard though for you? Like, being in Tucson and having me at 6 months with my like open face. Like, I had a hole in my face. Like, that's fucking crazy.
Well, you only had one side of your lip that was open.
Oh, yeah. It was a unilateral.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't bi. It wasn't bilateral.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that.
You're not bi.
Since we're talking gay. Yes.
Funny.
Yeah, bilateral. No, it was unilateral.
Yeah.
And at 3 months is when your upper lip was repaired.
Oh, I thought it was 6.
No, it was 3. At 9 months, I believe it was 9 months. 7? Ooh, maybe 7 or 9 months. Somewhere in that neighborhood, that's when your palate was completely reconstructed.
It's low-key still fucked up because I can shoot water through the roof of my mouth and out my nose. I'm not kidding. There's a hole there, and it's like a little dot. It feels like a little, like on the roof of your mouth. Yeah. It has like a little dot, and that's where like the air comes out.
Oh, wow.
So I just am like...
I had no idea.
And I'm like, party trick, come here. Let me show you this.
Start getting paid for that.
That's weird. Put that on OnlyFans.
Oh my gosh.
But
no, you had over 100 disposable sutures.
Wait. In my mouth?
Yes.
Oh fuck! I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. I think I was wrong there with disposable, but yeah, you had over
the
100
dissolvable.
Dissolvable. Thank you. Yeah. You had over 100.
Wow.
Yeah.
Remember when I had to relearn how to walk because of my hip surgery? And Mom literally made me, I will never forget this, and I love her to death, but she was like, do you want to go to Barnes & Noble? And I'm like fucking swollen. I look not well.
Well, and they took bone from your hip.
Yeah, I looked unwell. And I was like, I really want to get out of the house. And she was like, I'll take you to Barnes & Noble if you can walk from one end of the house to the other.
And you did.
And I did. And she was like, oh shit, like you were not supposed to do that. And she was like, I'll just go get the books for you. And I was like, okay, that's fine.
I completely remember that day.
That was so funny.
Yeah, because I ended up like, what are you doing? Why'd you walk across the house?
I was like, well, I needed to.
You're like, I want books.
That's so funny. Yeah. But that was, I remember because I walked like, I'm not kidding. I walked like sideways.
You did that on purpose, it seemed like.
I did?
Yeah,
maybe.
After a while, and I'm like,
can you walk straight?
I'm like, straighten up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
Well, it was weird because like the right side of my hip, it was like an ice cream scooper of bone. Just like taken out and put it into my mouth. That sounds wild.
Yeah, you just put in your jaw, yeah.
To anchor teeth down, right? Because this was all about my teeth because I'm not born with a full set of teeth because of my cleft lip.
Correct.
So.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, my wisdom teeth are like. We're getting on different conversations, but.
Yeah, just one.
It's fine. But.
It was another tangent.
I love tangents. I think that's the best thing in the world. But going back to like, having a cleft lip, being gay, I realized that there's a lot out there as like an individual for me where I'm just kind of like, wow, this is different. How do I navigate this entirely? Because I looked a certain way, I talked a certain way. I like growing up in school, I think I was never really bullied, but my voice is higher. And so because of that, I'm like, whenever I order, I'm like, like, it's fucking crazy that, like, I have to mentally check myself to be like, why did I just do that? Because I feel safer if I order deeper and if I talk on the phone deeper. And I'm just like, this is weird. Like, it's just silly to me that I have to do all these things. And it's just how you navigate through a society. Like, how do I feel safe? And you kind of, like, chameleon yourself in a way to like that environment to like I don't know how I'm trying to articulate on this. It's just you perceive certain things and you kind of go off of, you know, how am I going to feel safe? And that's so wild to me just because it's like, why am I doing that? So that's a whole nother conversation we'll have. I'll come back for that. But I think it's to spark note it. Yeah, the gay community does certain things, right? And it's really odd that we have to like change how we
Sure.
interact, and it's unfortunate, but we'll get there. I have all the hope in the world, even though we have some setbacks right now. I think we need to get more vocal. I am also tangenting because I like was just talking about like finding yourself and like being, you know, cleft lip and palate and all of that. But I do want to talk about one thing that is important is rioting. Just because protesting, I think for
you
what
said
you want.
rioting.
Rioting.
Okay.
Yeah, R-I-O-T.
I wasn't sure if you said writing, but
rioting.
it's rioting.
Rioting.
Gotcha. I'm with you.
Because that's another thing. I tend to, and I think it's because of my cleft lip, when I talk, if some of you can't hear me, that's on you. But, I'm just kidding. But I think, I draw lines out of words, and I'm just like it's all one word. And I think it's either cleft lip or something. I don't know what it is, but like when I talk, remember I had speech class?
You did
to
have
like
speech therapy.
enunciate and talk
Yes.
like that. And I was
Yeah.
like, can I just like I just didn't give a shit. But it's interesting because I don't know. There was a lot on that as well of like figuring out myself. But going back to rioting, I want to talk about rioting. So
Okay.
I think with the community that we have, it was founded on a riot and protesting and speaking out for like what you want.
Right.
And you're not going to get shit done by just, you know, you need a village and you need loud support. And if old crusty people up in office right now aren't going to do that in the Supreme Court, I think we should be more aggressive. And I don't know how that's going to look, but think about when in France and in Paris, right, what was it? The retirement age was set back 2 years. And they were like, fuck this, like burn everything to the ground. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that's passion though. Like, if you're passionate about 2 years added to your life for work and you hate it, that's an example, and I think the U.S. can take a large page out of that book, just because I don't know, we're not going to burn things, like, then we'll have a whole nother target on our back, but we need to really, get things moving, and I think it should also be up to the white representation in the queer community as a whole, just because we have the privilege to do so. And we should be speaking out for marginalized voices in that retrospect. And so now it's like, okay, time to do this. Let's pave that way. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know where to begin, but there's so many resources out there to just like Google how to help others and like figure all of that out. So I'm just kind of like, okay, let's time to like put up your gloves or sleeves or something. I don't know like what that saying is, but let's get dirty. Let's I'm ready to go in the streets. I love protesting. I think it's one of the coolest things we have about our society, because if we feel a certain way, let's sign petitions. Let's actually call our elected officials and say, what are you doing? Why did you just overturn this? Why are you taking away X, Y, and Z? And so now it's just, I don't know. Vote. Please vote. Fucking A, please vote. And I'm all for having conversations with people that are Democratic, Republican. It's...
Right.
I want to see all of your ideologies, even though some things can be a little iffy for me.
Sure, I think things can be iffy for anybody.
For sure.
Right? I mean, it's just, everybody should be allowed to have their view, on whatever that is. And
Yeah.
but yet, on the back end of that, we should all be able to celebrate each other
Mhm.
and go, hey, we can still have conversations
Right.
about whatever
Yeah.
that topic is, and not have
Right.
complete, absolute vile hate for that human being just because they
Yeah.
don't see things the way you see them.
I think there's a point of no return in though. Like, I'm not a hateful person by any means, and I don't want to be. I don't think I am. But if you have a certain view that is extremely extremist, and it doesn't make sense, I'm like, you're done. Throw it away. Go away.
Yeah, those are just
Um,
people that you don't ever want in your circle.
for sure, but also I like want to help them and be like, obviously there's certain people that are like past the point of help and it just goes all over you when you try to talk to them, but I don't know. I think I care too much and I'm like, let me help you. And it's weird. I don't know. I like want to provide any resource or feedback of support that I can, but it's hard for sure cuz when you are someone who is different in society, people are gonna be like, are you credible? And I'm like, yeah, I'm credible. What do you mean? Like, what's going on here? So I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know where this conversation went with like the whole credibility, but it's just I think it goes around help in general, and so I'm all
Right.
for it, and I will always be here no matter who it is, and that's one thing. Speaking of that, I think so. Do you remember when mom was, fuck? It was like I told mom about my past life
Uh-huh.
when I was little. And like
Yes.
my other mom was blonde. I was a pilot. Da 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 da. And she was like, and she went to Sedona to a medium, and the girl was like, yeah, he's here. Let him be. He has like a thing he's working out. And I was like, that kind of fucked with me. And some people don't believe in all of that, and I get it. I certainly do. I'm like, why am I here? This is crazy. Our souls, because like this is our skin. That's not who we are. Like it's that energy, like I'm saying. Like we're made out of fucking stars in the sky and atoms in the sky. So like I don't know. We're not gonna get on science because then people are gonna be like, oh no, I was a new one's too science driven, get it out of here. No, we love everything, we swear. But I think going on that topic of like who I was with like finding out about like why I was here, I was kind of like, oh, I want to help people. I think that's kind of like why I came back. Because we always come back, we always are here to learn, and then we come back again. And so it's just this time around, I'm like, I really think my reason to be on this floating rock again is because I'm here to help people. And that sounds, I'm not trying to sound pretentious or like conceited in any shape or form. Like, I literally think I am here to be a helping hand for anyone I encounter in my life. And that's just kind of like a weird thing to process because I'm like, oh, this is why I feel the way that I guess like I'm feeling about all of these things in my life, and why I'm so like overly sensitive and articulate and overthink on certain things, like how to go about life a certain way, and I'm just kind of like always challenging things, but it's so easy to help those around me, like so easy, and I don't know why it is. It's always been that way.
And it doesn't take a whole lot of effort.
No, but like
It
it's
doesn't have to be a
I don't know how to
huge doesn't have to
explain
be a
it.
huge task.
No, it's not. But like I'm saying, for me, it's just it's different for me where I'm just like it comes so natural where I'm like very like paternal and I'm just kind of like no matter who you are, I'm like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. Like how can I help you?" And it's just like there's so many people like that for sure, but for like I don't know how to like convey like what's going on in my head right now about it, but like it's different. Like I don't know, I think if I accomplish anything in this lifetime, I think it's solely to the people that I encounter for a day, for a year, a month. It's obviously all for a reason, and so I'm just like, and I always kind of like summarize all of these relationships that I've had previously, and I've always been there to like help them. And that was like the bottom line, like, you know, common denominator. And I was like, oh, interesting. And like I love that though, because that keeps my cups full. And I'm like, okay, cool. I love
Right.
you. What do you need?
Right.
So
That's your passion.
yup, that. I like that word. Yup. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
That's how
cool.
you give back.
For sure. I'm a giver. I love giving. I'm like, what do you need? Like, I don't know. It's whoever needs anything. Any of you need anything, contact me. I'm on social platforms. I'm not kidding. You can DM me. I will help. So I think
I'd love to find out some, like, sit down and just
what
learn more about, like, maybe possible ideas
of what
of what it looks like for you to give back, you know, especially like within the queer community,
yeah.
right? For people that need it.
If there is something, I, shit, our society is very broken right now and divided, and so I think we gotta find a way to wipe the slate clean and kind of start fresh, and that's hard to think about, just because you're kind of like, how as as a society are we going to function in a very different set of rules and standards, and it's exciting. But it's also like we're kind of on a downfall right now because we have all of this hate being spewed, and it's just kind of like, this is what we're doing. Like, I'm sure like extraterrestrial life is looking at Earth and they're like, get out. Like, it's just like it's not it. So, I don't know. I think it will get better. It's just going to take a lot of time, and that's why I like the aggression that's sometimes used, because with so many marginalized communities and all this hate and things that are happening right now and being passed in legislation, it's just ludicrous, and it baffles me always. Like, you think you've heard it all, and then another week happens, and then you're like, oh wait, what? Like, it's, yeah, and you can't help but laugh through it, but then you're just like, fuck, like, we need to get people out of office. Get these little crusties out. Like, I'm just, I can't wait. It's going to be great. And then that's when the love will come in, and now we'll feel safe. Because we all need to feel safe in our certain form. And as people are literally trying to find themselves. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Cool.
There's so much going on in your head right now.
You have no idea.
That we're gonna have to sit down
There's
again
a lot. Yeah.
for another podcast.
That'd be fun. Have
Yeah.
me back. I'll come back. I'll come back.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Honestly. Out is the New One is great.
Yeah.
It's such a cool company that you've provided for my community. And so
Yeah.
I think there's so much that you will still learn, and the amount of effort that you provided
Yeah.
is like phenomenal. That's what an ally should be. So,
Yeah, I will never not learn.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's life. We're always going to learn until
Yeah.
we die.
Yeah.
And that's the coolest thing as
Yeah.
humans.
And I want to continue to do this and give people a voice, a platform to share their story
Yeah.
and say what they need to say
Yeah.
until my last breath. So,
How cool.
yeah, so I'll continue to do this. So, I love you very much.
Oh, I love
and
you. Thank you for having
so
me.
much for coming.
Oh my god, this is fun.
This was awesome.
Yeah, we're going to do this
Yeah.
a lot more now.
I learned a lot more about you today. I mean, just,
Really?
Well, we haven't seen each other for the whole time you've been in LA, practically.
Yeah, it's hard.
So, yeah. So, yeah, you surprised me and gave me some anxiety when you're like, I want to be on the podcast. And I'm like,
Oh no.
No, I'm
it's
just like-
fine.
who knew?
Yeah.
We didn't even talk about
Wow.
what to talk about. Just like let it flow.
This is true.
Yeah.
This was fun. I
And,
like
and it
this.
did.
We had a lot of tangents. I'm not sure if it'll resonate with some viewers, but we'll see.
Yeah.
If it helps
Yeah.
one person, that's all I care about. So,
Hello, this is Johnny G with the Out of Zoo and You Have a Purpose podcast. Thank you so much for joining us today. Today truly got personal as I was able to interview and sit down with my son Chase and have such an amazing conversation. If you have a story you would like to share, and know that you are in a safe space to share whatever that is, please contact me on social media platforms, my cell phone, email, however you want to do it, to let me know that you would truly be a part of this platform to give back to the community. Thank you.